And then a part where he asks Chris Tyson, if you were to ever go to jail, what would it be for? Which is an odd thing to go back and edit 6 years later.
This is not very normal man, as MrBeast is under scrutiny from not just one, not two, but three different areas of his business. We've talked about them at length on the show. We've talked about the whole Chris Tyson thing, which will not be discussed very briefly here. We've talked about the new Amazon show, the Beast games that are coming out, and the crazy insanity that's happening there. And now the new fun stuff is the response to his latest video, where they have been censoring comments. They are telling you that your eyes are fooling you with the like and dislike ratio. And there have been some serious allegations thrown out as far as the cover-up associated with MrBeast. And Upper Echelon, I think, is a really interesting creator on YouTube. They have done a really good job of kind of keeping the anonymity of their reporting at arm's length, where they can kind of report how they want and not have to worry about people recognizing them or anything along those lines. They had a new video that was posted last night called "MrBeast is covering up everything," and I wanted to watch a quick snippet of this, about 2.5 minutes long, where it talks about the perception of what's happening and the reality of what's happening, specifically when it comes to videos being edited, comments being disabled, and so forth and so on. James and Kay, do y'all have any thoughts on this before we get into this whole MrBeast stuff?
Man, this has been such a rabbit hole, and I was following it for so long, and then I'm like, okay, look, it's very clear that YouTube is sweeping for this guy at this point, at least from my point of view. I have not seen the video that you're mentioning, so I'm curious to see what my reaction would be to that, but they have a lot of incentive to sweep for MrBeast because he is the biggest creator for them. He has got them globally on the map, and they would lose big time by having this crumble. He is the biggest example of someone who's moved on beyond YouTube, who's been able to put products in stores. I went to Walmart the other day and found MrBeast figures, and I was like, what is this?
What?
Yeah, there's like those elastic figures or whatever, and
Like
it's
Stretch
like,
Armstrong.
yeah. And like he's just everywhere. Everywhere I walk around now, he's got the chocolate bars. A lot of people know about that. He's got the food. So like he has broke through everything. And of course, there's this Amazon deal, which I know you guys have talked about at length on the show as well. But this was a big deal too, going from YouTube and going to an extra, production value of Amazon. So they have a lot on the line if MrBeast crumbles, and this could set YouTube back a lot. So let's see what happens with this video you're going to show me. But I would not be surprised if they're sweeping.
Des, have you been following this story at all?
I have.
Okay. Well, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on this. So I fast forwarded to about 6.5 minutes into this video, where it talks specifically about the covering up of things that are happening. So let's go check this out, and you guys tell me when to stop when you guys want me to stop.
36-hour period of time with
Let me actually back up here just for a second.
years and multiple separate channels. This right here is the 36-hour period of time where the comment section of that latest video was scraped repeatedly and archived. Green is the total number of comments posted.
And by the way, he's speaking of the latest video that was released. So, and the pushback behind it.
Red is the total number of comments allowed to remain on the video actively. Over that one single 36-hour period from August 4th to midway through August 5th, over 26,000 comments were deleted at a consistent rate, as well as in two very large major batches. In addition, we can infer a couple of things from this graph, such as the usage of automatic filters, which would explain why the rate of new comments very suddenly drops off a cliff, also corroborated by showcasing the number of comments containing certain keywords over time. Here's a complete list of the comments.
By the way, I think it is worth talking about the clips that were the words that were hid, including scripted, facts, Jimmy knew, we know what you did, respond to the allegations, Jimmy, we know what you did, Jimmy,
Wow.
stop hiding, protect minors from Chris.
Gotta hide that. Oh my God.
Stop deleting comments and respond to the allegations. These are all things that they had hidden from the video.
Complete list of the comments, by the way, where you can see things like this, showcasing that all at once for various keywords and phrases, dozens or even hundreds of comments will disappear in close proximity to each other. For example, comments simply containing the word script were suddenly mass deleted. Comments containing the word fake were mass deleted as well. And for the sake of transparency, I'm going to link this file down below in the description along with other resources for anyone that wants to check or go back and see if their comment shows up here. Keep in mind, this is a rough 36-hour snapshot from the 4th to midway through the 5th of August, 2024. It's not the entire lifespan of the video. In reality, far more than these 26,000 comments have been deleted, much of it taking place before the data collection process began. This is just what Hoboon managed to directly capture. The real number of total deleted comments is much higher than 26,000. But even with just one portion of data, I'm supposed to believe that a video where the creators are mass deleting tens of thousands of comments only has 37,000 dislikes and has a lower dislike percentage than the rest of the channel's videos? This is so far outside the realm of actual possibility, it boggles the mind. However, that's only the beginning because this effort is far larger than the comment section of just one individual video.
All right, let's go stop right there and we'll continue in just a second. The mass flagging of comments, the attempt to hide a certain narrative that they don't want to seen. Des, your thoughts?
Well, honestly, the first thought I have is, are there bots, I'm sure, that can mass comment on videos?
Oh,
'Cause I
100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do wonder, like, how much of he was just attacked by maybe a certain group with just a bunch of bots, and that could explain just a lot of that. I don't know. I mean,
There's potential to that for sure. For sure. I think, we've seen bot attacks. We have bots on every single video that we post on the channel, comment bots and stuff. Now, those are generally used to drive interest to like an OnlyFans or something along those lines, right? But I don't know. I think this may be just pushback from folks.
I'm sure there is a lot of pushback, but there are also, to be fair, there are also a lot of groups out there that will attack. Like if they'll go pretty crazy, like against pedophiles. I mean, I don't necessarily maybe have a problem with that, but there are groups out there that will organize and send people after you. So I just was unaware on YouTube if you could have the bots in that way. So it's probably a mix. How did this person, I missed the first part. How did he get all those messages?
So there is a researcher that he's worked with that is, as he describes very vaguely, is an expert at getting information, right? So did some sort of scraping, some sort of data removal or retrieval to get this information. He didn't exactly say how, because I think that if he did, it would probably be, there'd be some negative implications. But the idea is that he has this data.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would just
James?
be interested to see if you could, if you could filter out any of the bots, what that number would look like. I would just be curious. I still think it would be very high and significant.
Okay, James.
Yeah, I'm curious about like how many comments are normally deleted on a MrBeast video. Like, is this a common occurrence that they go through and clean their video comment sections, or is this now a thing they're starting because of the controversy? So it'd be interesting to see that ratio as well. As for the bot thing, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like everyone gets bots, sure, but how much of this is legitimate? I think it's going to be much higher that it is legitimate, at least from my perspective. And also, why would you hide those comments? Like, I mean, you as MrBeast can say, look, I stand against like all this stuff that's happened. Why do you need to hide all of that? It's just kind of strange to me at this point. It's not like people don't know about this controversy. So it's going to be obvious that you'll see comments like that on his videos. He should just embrace that and go, look, this is a blight on, MrBeast as a brand, but going forward, we understand what went wrong and we're going to continue forward and be better. And like, I just never agree with erasing history to me, no matter what. I think those things should always be present. You should be able to see them. Even if you make a mistake on your own, you should keep that up there. It looks way worse when you start to clean all of that. But yeah, it's also like unclear if it's MrBeast's team because he has a huge team working for him.
Right.
Is it MrBeast's team cleaning this up or is it YouTube? Because to me, that's two very extreme issues. One being MrBeast, it would be more like, okay, yeah, I don't agree with it, but it would be more justified compared to YouTube. That would be a way bigger issue, in my opinion, of that happening.
Kay, you said something actually very in line with what we're going to talk about next, which is erasing history. But before we do that, Blabs, do you have any thoughts on what we're seeing here so far?
I'm kind of with everybody, actually. I feel like there kind of needs more info to be out there first before I can make a real conclusion. I kind of lean towards K though.
Okay, well, let's go and continue here. Let's go and continue because there's more here.
The dislike thing is interesting, though. Is this the most disliked? Like, this is the least disliked video? That doesn't make sense. See, that's what makes me suspicious. Everything else is like, okay, they're cleaning comments. They shouldn't. But the fact that the ratio, I would want to see more on that. Why is the dislike ratio so low on this compared to other videos?
Well, I think that's it. So MrBeast was showing when it comes to their like versus dislike ratio, they're saying that this video actually has a higher like ratio than their other videos, which I don't buy that at all.
That's very
doubt on that.
That
one.
doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
See, that seems like botting to me.
Right.
More than comments. If you've got mass likes, that seems bizarre.
All right, let's continue here because I think this part here is where things get really interesting.
This right here is a video from 6 years ago where MrBeast decided to tip delivery guys $10,000. I have my gripes with his social mannerisms and the things that are actually done and said here. But if you scroll down, there's a jump in the most recent comments from 10 days ago to 1 month ago. All comments from the entire month of July were purged from this video. But the question then becomes why? Well, the answer is pretty simple. They were purged because they said things like this, quote, "Damn, the Shadman poster is actually there." And
as he's literally showing receipts in this situation. Now, the Shadman poster is the poster that was put in the background that Chris Tyson bought. It was in several of their videos. The Shadman poster portraying not appropriate stuff, and just kind of put it lightly. So there was word that this poster was in these videos, and people were going back to these and being like, and checking to see if it actually was there. And sure enough, it was there. The problem is that for MrBeast, at least, was that people were going to the comments saying, whoa, there it is.
End quote, linking to 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Interesting. There's a lot of these, by the way, for anyone who's curious. They were targeted and mass deleted as soon as they began showing up. What's even more interesting is that if you go to an archived version of this video, you'll see that the length is 12 minutes and 48 seconds. However, the current version on the MrBeast channel is 10 minutes and 26 seconds. Here's why. At roughly 9 minutes and 30 seconds in, as stated in the comments that were mass deleted, a portion of this video was cut out that showed the team in a living room, and on the wall, sure enough, is a Shadman poster. The same poster that Ava Chris Tyson bragged about making a centerpiece of the living room. MrBeast went back to a video from 6 years ago. He deleted an entire month of comments as well as stealth edited a portion of the video out to hide things. The only word I can think of is cover up.
Can you guys think of any other word to describe that? What's happening here? The idea of going into these videos and being like, we don't ever want to show that again. Okay, you mentioned erasing history. I think that's a great word.
Yeah.
It's 100% erasing history. Just embrace it. I mean, it's the internet never forgets, right? There's no point in deleting it. I just don't understand.
100%.
And people are going to investigate you more thoroughly because they're noticing these things. You tip them off once, and now forever, people are going to be watching you with a microscope and looking at what you're actually doing and archiving everything. And people should archive because, again, I don't believe in erasing history no matter what. That's like, he's so stupid. I don't know. It's just insane.
It also bugs me how he keeps saying Ava Chris Tyson. I'm like, can we be factual here since that's what you seem to be doing? Providing evidence and receipts. A dude's a dude.
Yeah,
Well,
you're erasing the
right.
history of his real name there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to nitpick here, but I'm not wrong.
I like what absolutely Ruddy said on YouTube chat, and this is what keeps coming to mind. Absolutely Benoit. It's just like, just own it. Like, oh, okay, boohoo, you liked edgy art. Like, I don't care. It would come off a lot cooler and more normal if you're just like, yeah, so I bought art from an artist. What are you gonna do about it? But no, they are admitting fault and admitting guilt by trying to hide it and cover it up and everything. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me at all.
So for those who don't know, the idea of Benoiting somebody, Des, I don't know if you understand that reference. If you're a big WWF fan from back in the day, but there was a wrestler named Chris Benoit who offed his family and his son, then offed himself. He was a world champion around the time, very highly regarded wrestler. And then after that happened, they had a big like memorial show for him. And then it found out that he actually did these horrible things. They thought he just like something bad happened. And then like the next day they found out some really bad things happened. So if you want to find any reference to this wrestler in WWE, like it's impossible. They've like totally scrubbed his entire history, matches that he was in. It's like he didn't even exist. So the
And he
idea
was the world champ. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to scrub him. And there was a time where like you would see a wrestler fighting a censor bar and it was the funniest thing ever. And then they just went away to like erasing the matches, which is like, that's the main event. How do you can't do that? So
right.
It's so
it was
creepy.
crazy.
So
Yeah,
go ahead, Des.
people just it's rare to find people taking accountability these days, and especially, I mean, I hate to be like a boomer, but it's like with the younger generation, they just don't want to take accountability for actions, and like that's what you have to do in this world. It's what you have to do to be like that's what you need to do as an adult. Take accountability for your actions. I can't stand it when people just pretend things don't happen or put things off on other people. It's one of my pet peeves.
Well, let's continue this because upper echelon, and we'll only got another like minute or so because this last minute is like really hilarious. Because he continues to go through various things that were edited and that have been stealth edited, because you can do that on YouTube. You can slice your existing videos into, remove parts, you can blur things, whatever it may be, right? But let's go continue here. We're going to pick this up midway through him talking about this video, but before he gets to another video where they talk about going to prison.
This one is funny, by the way, in a very twisted sense of the word. I spent 24 hours straight in prison challenge. Current video, 13 minutes. Original video, 14 minutes and 51 seconds. What did they remove? Well, they removed a roughly 30-second section where Jimmy says to the camera, probably shouldn't break the law because being in jail sucks. And then a section where Jimmy describes how he would hate to go to jail for a few years. Also some parts about Chris's butt and how Jimmy expects to see it all over Twitter as a meme. And then a part where he asks Chris Tyson, if you were to ever go to jail, what would it be for? Which is an odd thing to go back and edit 6 years later.
That's amazing. I mean, they're just like, we need to stop predicting the future. Just erase it.
Just here.
So yeah, I mean it's legit hilarious, the idea.
Jail sucks. I'm shocked, I say.
So dumb.
So
again, it's just showing that they know, like, why erase it? You could have just let it run and let it ride, and of course everyone's gonna. And MrBeast is the biggest YouTuber like ever, so obviously there's a billion archives of it. So it's it's totally pointless to scrub this.
And how do they know exactly what videos to scrub? Like, they clearly knew all of this for such a long time. They tried to hide everything. Then it got blown wide open. And now we're going to go run back and clear all the videos where there's implicating stuff about us. It's like, how are you finding all that so quick? You produce so many videos. You have so much footage. How would you even remember half of these clips are in? Because they also edit down their videos a lot, too, before they even post them. So you probably have hours and hours of footage, and then you send it to editors. They trim it down, and then they post the final video. So you clearly have a big global view on what you're doing, and you're able to find those clips super quick and remove it. I don't know. That's just...
Another layer to this that I just thought about as you're talking about going through and editing these videos. He has syndicated out all his videos to other languages, right? There's a MrBeast Spanish. There's a MrBeast German. You wonder if he's gone in and they've edited every single one of those as well. They edit those down. That'd be an interesting side to take a look at. So that is a fascinating video, and there's more, but the video is great, and it really digs into it. You can see kind of the walls kind of closing in on Beast. As internet anarchist over on X says, MrBeast is currently undergoing the largest cover-up in YouTube history. He's deleted thousands of comments, retroactively edited videos, and unlisted several videos. Meanwhile, he is serving cease and desist letters to ex-employees who are speaking out. And one of the employees that is speaking out has been this Dogpack 404. He had a video that was released a week or so ago that really, it was an hour-long video that really went in. And Blabs, to her credit, saw this video when it had 200 views on it. And I went through and I watched the video. And Blabs, did you watch the entire video, the entirety of that?
No.
Okay. Well, I did. And it really went deep onto some allegations as far as work conditions, the faking of videos using CGI, the scripted nature of Mr. Beast videos. And like, to be clear, look, if you're going to create scripted content on YouTube, I don't care. I really don't care. If your job is to get people to watch your videos, that's fine. Just don't portray it as a reality show or something that really happened or a competition if it's not really a competition, right? But this guy, Dogpack404, has apparently caught the ire of Mr. Beast along the way, and apparently his phone number got leaked. This just got leaked, you know, this guy. And this was a post that he had up. Says, also, my number got leaked, apparently from a Mr. Beast employee named Kaylee. I've getting texts from former Mr. Beast employees. Text I received last night claims that James wants to have private investigators start following me and looking into my family's social media accounts to find ways to discredit me. Apparently, the best narrative they have right now is that I'm a crazy drug addict, a drug-addicted Mr. Beast super fan that got fired for trying to, quote, steal company funds. If this text is true, I will say, Mr. Beast, if you want to resort to personal attacks, I'm happy to reciprocate, or, you know, just address the evidence. And he has pics of these screenshots here. This former employee talking to them. I'm texting you anonymously to let you know that I've heard James wants to hire private investigators to start following you, looking at every detail of your life. You know, we look at this stuff, and I got to be honest, you know, I do like to look at this and hopefully look at it skeptically, but at the same time, would anybody be really surprised if this was the case? If the biggest, most powerful YouTuber in the space was doing super shady, mega corporate things like that, like hiring a PI?
Yeah.
Is it the same investigators that were investigating internally to see what was actually going on too, right? Like, he has the money to flaunt. Why wouldn't he do this? Of course he wants to protect his image, and he's relying on the idea that, like, he's got a younger audience, and so they're going to, you know, ignore this eventually. They're just there for the spectacle. Meanwhile, you know, the rest of us that are a bit older who don't even watch Mr. Beast videos are noticing all of this and want to protect kids ultimately. And, you know, for him, it's like, how much can I remove this so that everyone forgets and I can go back to doing sweepstakes and no one notices, and, you know, we're making money again. And he knows that the internet moves fast. I mean, if anyone's going to know that, it's Mr. Beast. So he's just riding it quickly and doing everything he can. And then he's going to hope a year from now everything's fine.
What was the first thing that Mr. Beast did before all this came crashing down? What was the thing that, like, at the peak of his popularity, when he got all the kids' eyes on him, which is a mistake in hindsight, is he said, I want to run for president one day, right? That was like one of the last things he did. I want to run for president. And now this all came crashing down right after this, and now he's just sweeping it up and all this stuff. So it's not at all surprising, and yeah, I just expect the absolute worst from him. So I'm with you, Craig. None of this surprises me. This is all totally believable coming from him.
Now, Dogpack released a teaser about 12 hours ago that in 24 hours the next video will be released, and he's been saying this all along. There's multiple parts to this. And this is, you know, he's at a timer 24 hours. This was 8:15 last night. Now, people have been skeptical. Says, if you're not doing this for clout or money, why have a countdown to build hype? And he said, so people can watch YouTube take the video down in real time, right? And that's kind of the whole idea here is he's not monetizing this. Although if he had monetized it, the video, he would have made a ton of money. I think the video itself has been seen I think 10 million times at this point. A quick glance
is the most valuable.
Here we go. He has 240,000 subscribers. The video released 2 weeks ago has 11 million views, right? And had he monetized that, I mean, geez, the math on that's it's tens of thousands of dollars at that point. If you're monetizing that. So we'll see, you know, if he gets to a point where he capitalizes on it. But he said over and over again, at least Dogpack, this guy has said that it's not for money, it's not for clout. And yeah, so it's people are like, why are you talking about this? I talk about this because it's like it's the #1 YouTuber on Earth He has an audience of children, and I think it's very much worth talking about deceptive practices. And honestly, like the shitstorm that's approached that he has walked himself into. I think it's very much worth it. So yeah, it's crazy. Any closing thoughts on that, y'all?
Guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we're going to wait and see what happens. And I expect the worst. There's going to be a lot more that comes out on this. It's far from over. We're in like the sequel era right now, but the trilogy is not done. So I'm ready to strap in. I'm looking forward to your coverage on this, Craig, because it is important to talk about. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more dirt to come out. If he's already scrubbing and hiding all this stuff, and it's related to his co-host, and he can just distance himself from that, what else is he hiding? There's clearly something else under that rug, and it's going to get unearthed. So can't wait to see it.
Well, the next level is tonight. So I guess we'll see what happens with that, as that video is supposed to be released at around 8 o'clock tonight Central Time. We'll keep an eye out for it, and I'm sure I will certainly take a look at it. And if it's worth talking about, we will certainly dig into it. But I'll say this. You release a video with 11 million views, and it's an hour long talking about all the things. I mean, the bar's high. And we saw this with like the Twitter files back in the day, where the first Twitter files was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. And then they got to like Twitter files 18, and the momentum had pretty much died, right? You got to keep that momentum up. You got to keep trickling it out, and you got to make sure if the next story isn't like a barn burner, then you will lose people's interest really quick. And the idea here is continue to keep talking about it, because I feel like this is important stuff.